Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to just give you some manifestation advice, okay? Regarding whatever it is that you're manifesting. I know a lot of you are manifesting specific people. So you guys, something you really have to understand is that no one else has free will. I keep getting questions from people, like sometimes like my clients will email me even during calls, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. You guys, I am not even kidding when you say you need to be less concerned about what they're doing and what you're doing. You need to go internally. Anytime you feel like stalking their social media or thinking about, oh, they said this then, they did this then, go inwards. Anytime you think of them, start affirming for how great you are. You're the prize, you're on the pedestal. Anyone would be lucky to be with you, okay? And it gets easier within time, okay? Myself definitely used to give into the 3D. I would check the 3D a lot, when I was manifesting like all sorts of things. And I realized like it really wasn't like benefiting me. I wouldn't necessarily feel good after checking the 3D. I mean, sometimes it's like, I would see something that I liked and it would be great, but I'm just like, you know what, like I don't want to keep getting triggered. I don't want this to derail my manifestations, because your brain, your subconscious mind has a perfect way of executing the thing that you want. It has a plan that's been laid out and it is in execution. Okay, it's infinitely intelligent, and you have to let your subconscious play that out. Every single thing that happens in between is the bridge of incidents that is leading you to your manifestation. The minute you decided to manifest for this person, you guys, your subconscious mind is so smart that it took like probably 0.0000001 seconds for it to come up with this perfect plan for your manifestation to come in. Okay, but the only thing is, when you keep checking the 3D, you're kind of derailing that. It's like, again, you have your GPS, right? That's leading you to where you want to be. But like you're purposely taking these exits because you're just like, wait, I don't trust the GPS. Even though the GPS knows what it's doing, you guys. I remember, oh my gosh, like years ago, even 10 years ago, like, during family road trips, my dad bought this GPS. It was like so bulky. It literally looked like a mini computer. It still knew what the heck it was doing. The GPS never once wronged us, even though my dad was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna take this instinct, it's gonna be shorter. And it ended up like, not being shorter, because there ended up being some traffic. You guys, the GPS is always gonna give you the most optimal route. And the thing is, even if you do redirect, even if you reroute, even if you take a detour, whatever, it's still gonna find a way for you to get your manifestations. It's still gonna find a way to get you to your main destination, or to your destination in the most optimized way possible. You need to let it do its thing though, okay? Like, again, at the end of the day, you will always reach your destination, but you could reach there much faster if, one, you stop checking the 3D, two, you lived internally. Anytime, again, you feel like you're thinking of your person, you feel like tracking the 3D, start doing self-concept affirmations. I am not even kidding when I say that when you start affirming for whatever it is that you want, when you start manifesting, okay, you are able to consciously override the old story. You are, every single time you make a choice, every single time you're just like, okay, I feel tempted to check the 3D, sometimes it's not even checking their social media, but the social media of like, maybe the people that they're associated with. Replace that with, no one compares to me, I am irreplaceable, I am the only one, I'm the only option, I'm the best option, I'm the best person to date ever. Okay, actually, I love that affirmation. I am the best person to date, I'm the best girlfriend, I'm the best boyfriend, I'm the best husband, I'm the best wife, I'm the best partner. Okay, and it gets easier. So anytime like you feel the need, the urge to check, your hands are just gonna not do its thing. Your brain's just gonna be like, wait, no, don't we have a habit of not checking the 3D? Don't we have a habit of saying self-concept affirmations? Okay, you guys, the more you do this, the more you're able to override the old story, the more you're able to again, consciously override your unconscious habits. Because a lot of them, you guys, it's just like it's like second nature, kind of like driving, kind of like reading a book. Like, if you know how to read, you know how to drive, you don't have to work too hard. Your brain doesn't have to work too hard to do that. It's easy for you to track the 3D if that's something that you've been consistently doing. But I'm telling you guys, the less you track the 3D, the faster it comes. Okay, there's so much movement happens. If once in a while you get urges or like hits, like intuitive hits to track the 3D, that's fine. But once in a while, I'm talking like maybe like once a month. I don't want to give like time frames or like attach time to anything, because time is honestly, it's there's a lot of different ways people perceive time, but the truth is, you guys, time is very subjective. what could feel like actually a long time to you could feel really fast to someone. Like for some people, they're just like, oh my gosh, this month went by so fast. For you, it could have been the longest month. You know, it's so subjective, and it's like, you know, it's our ego mind. Technically, you guys, the 3D is nothing but it's one manifestation of your consciousness. Your consciousness, again, there's like infinite realities, right? There's infinite timelines. The 3D is just one of the infinite timelines you can be living in. And obviously, you know, because we're 3D people, you know, we tend to give a lot of attention and credence to the 3D, but you know, once you stop checking the 3D, once you make it a habit, once you live in the end, once you like, you know, replace every single like, you know, negative thought you have with, you know, just a couple of blanket self-concept based affirmations, you guys, watch your manifestations pour in. Okay, and I'm not saying you have to completely ignore the 3D. Like if you're someone that, you know, is on the gram or you post on social media, just don't post, don't check your stories. I'm not saying all that, but you know, that is a little bit different than you purposely going to your SP's profile, checking to see, you know, what they're doing, who they followed. Okay, you guys, the amount of like, you know, clients that I've had, you know, that have told me like, oh, SP's doing this, that, like, I just want to tell all of you guys, it doesn't matter. Social media doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, you guys, I find myself liking things that I don't even remember I liked. Who cares if they like that thing? Okay, who, like, they're still in love with you. Yes, I've been head over heels, you know, in love with someone, and I've probably liked, you know, pictures of like, you know, attractive things or people. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, but I mean, if you don't want them to do that, you know, that's okay as well. Like if you really want to say, I'm the only person whose pictures they like, I'm the only person they follow, that's fine too. I'm not judging you for that, but you know, stop assigning so much meaning and value to that. Who cares? Who cares? Like, you know, it's like, it's not a big deal. You can totally be head over heels in love with someone, and like, you know, you'll just do things unconsciously. That doesn't mean they like you any less. And you know, not like, just, you have to see them as someone who respects you guys. I understand, you know, you want respect, but I know for a lot of you guys, you know, you're probably like not even in a relationship with them, and like, you know, you're judging them on things that they're doing, even though like, you know, the both of you are single. But you know, understand that when you do get into a relationship with them, they won't be doing that. Set some standards, set some boundaries. Maybe you needed to see that thing happen for you to understand what your boundaries and standards are. And I understand, you guys, I'm not judging you for setting whatever boundaries and standards you do set, but like, again, like, I feel like something that comes up in calls is this, okay, because I know, again, we live in the digital media, oh my god, the age of digital media, and we see all of these things happening, but we cannot be, you know, bogged down by that. Okay, you guys, there's the 3D and then there's social media. I feel like, you know, I mean, the social media is like a, you know, it is a remnant of the 3D. It is part of the 3D, right? But like, it's even more illusionary than the 3D at times. Okay, you cannot give in to that. Again, that doesn't mean anything. Once you're dating them, they're gonna be liking all your posts. They're gonna be hyping you up. They're gonna be posting you. They're gonna be changing, you know, their profile picture to you and them. They're gonna be changing their wallpaper to you. Okay, on your phone. Think about that. Again, anytime like you get a little bit triggered, like, oh, they followed this person, that, you know, if you are checking social media, replace that with, well, okay, they're gonna, you know, they're doing that because, you know, that maybe that person is someone that they needed to talk to get to me. Maybe that person is going to help them get to me. Maybe that person is going to remind them of me. Maybe that person is like, you know, like someone that's going to help them, you know, get a job near me or something like that. Okay, make it work in your favor. Be as delulu as possible. Okay, delulu is the salulu. Whatever you see, even if it's not working in your favor, make it work in your favor. Okay, but keep saying your blanket affirmations, keep affirming, keep, you know, saying, you know, just a couple of things that, you know, like a couple of affirmations that are going to help you get to that end goal. And you guys, watch how fast this manifests. You do not need to be, you know, in this constant loop of struggling, not getting what you want. Okay, honestly, it really, like, I don't want to assign time to it, because time is just something, you know, again, it's just it's what our ego mind even gives a lot of, you know, attention or credence to. It's what we assign. Again, sometimes time can feel really fast. Time can go by really fast. Sometimes things can seem like it takes forever, but it's all you doing the dictating of that. Okay, it's like you dictating what time is. I wrote this really good explanation on my Patreon and, you know, time, and someone was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. If you want a better explanation, do check out the Patreon. You know, we also have a self-concept challenge going on Patreon, as well as a science challenge where we get together as a group and collectively manifest for each other via signs, which amplifies and accelerates our individual manifestations. Okay, shameless shout out to the Patreon, but yeah, you know, do join that if that is of your interest. But again, stop checking the 3D, live internally. Okay, there are no 3Ps. They're all you. Your SP is you. Your manifestation is you. Your circumstances are you. How much attention are you giving to these things? You guys, once you take away your attention to these things, again, which the best way to do that is not to like force yourself not to think about it, but whenever you do think about it, use that as fuel. Okay, use that as fuel for you to you know, switch it up. Like, okay, okay, you know what? This is teaching me something about myself. You know, the reason I'm getting so triggered because of this 3P, the reason I'm even checking social media in the first place is because, you know, I need to trust my manifestation abilities more. I need to be more confident and secure in myself. I need to change up the story. I need to, you know, change the story of how I view myself, how I view this person. This person's been so loyal to me. You know, we dated from day one. Nothing ever happened. This person never did anything that was, you know, suspicious or upset me. This person has always just catered to me, okay? Switch that to self-concept. I've always been catered to. I've always been spoiled. I've always been romanced. And you guys, sometimes, you know, you will have off days, and that is okay. That does not ruin your manifestation. I've noticed that, you know, whenever I have these off days, the next day I get back up and I'm like stronger than ever, you guys. Okay, even think of an actual tunnel. Sometimes you can't even see the light at the tunnel, but you know that there is an escape. You know you're gonna get out of the tunnel. Okay, so sometimes, like, again, like, you're in the tunnel, you know, there's these other cars in front of you blocking you, but you know, you do eventually end up getting out of the tunnel. You do see the light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes things are the darkest before better things come in. And you guys, it gets easier. Like, I'm telling you, you know, again, in the beginning it could feel like you have a lot of resistance. It doesn't feel natural, but the more you keep replacing these thoughts with thoughts, you know, that are conducive to whatever it is that you want, you won't even have to think. Again, it becomes second nature. Like, for me, actually, that is why, you know, like, not to flex or show off, but the reason why I have a lot of abundance in my life, you guys, is like, I've naturally been kind of delusional about certain things. Like, you know, I would like fail midterms and be like, okay, well, I still have the final. Okay, well, my homework grades, my lab assignments, you know, everything else that I've been doing in this class is going to make up for this failed midterm. I never took that as the end goal. I never took that as the end all be all. I never, like, you know, succumb to, like, even the thought of failure. Failure just doesn't exist. There is no such thing as failing. And you guys, I ended up graduating a quarter early, okay, in school. I did, you know, computer science, and it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, I didn't even think I was gonna graduate. There was a time where I was like, oh my gosh, I need to switch majors. I didn't believe in anything. I didn't believe I was gonna get a job. I ended up getting a job a week before I graduated, just because I didn't give up, just because I kept going. I kept persisting. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna, like, I didn't even know about manifestation then, but like, I would always think of solutions. My mind is like, okay, let's say even if I don't graduate, then, you know, I'll take some classes at a community college, I'll transfer. My mind always constantly, you know, was coming up with solutions. That is what your subconscious mind is there for. I even said, okay, maybe I'll take like a boot camp or something class, you know, and I will end up getting, you know, some sort of job, even if it's not a job, an internship. And you guys, even though I did have like plans for, you know, for a plan B, C, my plan A worked, and I had no belief, like, literally, I did not believe that it was gonna happen at all for me. Okay, forget, like, you know, getting a job like right before I graduated. I didn't even think I was going to graduate at some point. I mean, at some point I did know, okay, like, I am going to graduate, because, you know, I did take certain classes that sort of, like, you know, helped expedite that. I would take classes over summer, but I really had no confidence, guys. It's, I know, like, that's not what you want to hear, but it's what happens in your subconscious mind. It's the way that you're programming your subconscious mind. I always say this, you guys, and I'm going to stand by it. You do not need to feel anything for you to get your manifestation. It is about what happens in your subconscious mind, what you're programming in your subconscious mind. That's why I think programming yourself in your sleep, listening to affirmation tapes in your voice, is one of the fastest ways to, you know, reprogram your subconscious mind. It honestly, for me, it brought out like the biggest movement. Sometimes I saw movement in the form of purges, in the form of nightmares, in the form of, like, you know, things happening to other people. Like, I would think of something and I would, like, notice someone else, like, you know, posting about that, and, you know, I would feel sad. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope you're okay, this, that. But, like, again, you know, sometimes purges happen in other ways. It doesn't necessarily happen in your life. And, you know, whenever I would see someone, you know, go through something bad, I would just be like, you know, I intend that you heal. I intend that you're okay. I intend that, like, you know, you have your manifestation. You're completely healthy and whole, okay? And again, anything you say and do about it, you know, other people, it does come back to you. Not necessarily because of karma, but because they are you. Because they are you pushed out. That's why, you guys, saying negative things about your SP, okay, you are just shining light on the negative things about you. They are mirroring you back to you. That's why you need to have positive assumptions about your specific person in regards to you, in regards to this manifestation. They're so loyal, they're so kind. Okay, that job is the best thing that ever happened to me. Okay, that job has given me financial freedom to do whatever the heck it is that I want. And that's true, you guys. Like, I have financial freedom. I can literally take trips whenever I want. I'm actually planning my next trip, okay? Yeah, and, you know, living in a luxury apartment. But, like, again, you have to, at some point, you know, you have to consciously override this negative way of thinking. For me, you know, the way that I even got my job is, like, I would just think of, like, you know, like, the fact that I had so much money, I could do whatever I want. I wouldn't have to look at receipts twice. And that is what I do, you guys. I don't even, like, spend that much time looking at finances, because I know that whatever I spend, it comes back to me tenfold. It comes back to me x-fold. I'm not even worried at all, because I'm, like, literally embodying the, like, you know, for law of attraction, people will say the frequency of abundance, but for me, embodying the thoughts of an abundant person. Okay, I'm in that dominant state of having what I want. And you guys, everything that's happening, again, it's the bridge of incidents, but one day you will get to a point in your relationship with your SP where you don't have to, like, you know, affirm all the time 24/7. You'll just have to, like, you know, be like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I'm with the best version of my SP. And, you know, like, that is, you guys, until you reach that point, until you reach that point where your person is, you know, showing up for the way that you want them to, and you will know, you guys, you will be in that dominant state. You know, I see stories about, like, oh, SP came back but they weren't acting the way they want. You guys, you're still in another reality. You're not in your desired reality, and you have to keep going. You have to keep going until you get, you know, until you're in your desired reality. You cannot just keep giving up. That's what I see a lot of you guys doing, and I understand, you guys, your SP is someone that you have feelings for, someone that you have an attachment to, but until that they're that version of yourself, you have to you have to just tell yourself they're the evil twin, they're a doppelganger, you're in another reality. Stop being attached to realities you don't want, and keep freaking manifesting until you're in that reality and you have everything you want 100%. I'm telling you, they do 100% conform, you guys. I have had SPs reflect back things to me verbatim. I have had SPs tell me they love me, okay? And I did not see that coming. I did not see that happening. One of the SPs that I had, like, you know, I was hanging out with them, and I literally had this card deck, okay, this romance angels deck, and, you know, so I would pick cards on him, you know, like, to kind of, like, channel his energy sometimes, you know, when we weren't talking that much, when we were in separation. I kid you not, like, he picked out the exact 2 cards that I would always associate with him. I think one of them was attraction, one that was a past life connection. He reflected back things to me verbatim. Like, he told me about, like, you know, how important and special I was to him in front of his friends, like, oh, she's really special to me, and, like, you know, you played a really big role in my life. And oh, he also said that I get the best version of him, and, like, you know, all of these things. I was like, oh my gosh, like, what the heck? And I was affirming for him to be the best version of himself. And you guys, that's what he showed up as. Like, honestly, I rarely found any red flags in him. And of course, you know, yeah, here and there, like, you know, people can say or do whatever, but, like, there weren't any major red flags in that person. This was someone I was actually very attached to. You know, he came back multiple times, and, you know, honestly, it was crazy. Like, he reflected back things to me that I didn't even, like, know that he would. I was like, it was more than I was even expecting, okay? But the thing, and I never thought it would happen, you guys. I thought this person was like, okay, they're, you know, one and done. Like, honestly, even his zodiac sign, like, you know, there were certain things I attached to, like, you know, his zodiac sign, like, oh, you know, this zodiac sign did that. Doesn't matter. They have to conform to whatever your assumptions are. Doesn't matter what sign they are. Doesn't matter how long it's been since you've talked. Doesn't matter what you see on social media. And I'll tell you guys, with this SP, I would see him following a lot of people on social media, but still he came back to me. It's like he needed to follow those people to realize, like, just how much he missed me and cared about me and wanted to be with me and talk to me. And none of those, like, you know, flings or whatever happened on social media, honestly, I didn't even know it ended up working out, because, you know, entire time he was thinking about me. And, you know, he would, like, send me pictures of, like, things that I liked, like, you know, amethyst geodes, and, like, he would remember very specific things about our relationship, about our connection. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's actually crazy. I didn't even know you remember that. I didn't even remember saying that, okay? You guys, they do come back. They do come back even better than you expected them to, and they come back as long as you want them to come back, okay? But the thing is, you have to keep going. You have to keep, like, you know, you have to be at that routine until you get what you want. Like, that's why, like, you know, don't keep switching things up. Like, that's also the biggest thing. Again, you can say a couple of things, you know, a couple of things that you affirm for, and you can add other things. I'm not saying you're only restricted to those affirmations, okay? Again, robotically affirming self-concept, that is key. Educating yourself whenever. Read books about the brain. Read books about why affirmations work in order for you to, like, you know, validate your own manifestation abilities, reinforce your own manifestation abilities, reinforce, you know, like, your notion, your thoughts on the power of affirmations. You guys, the only reason affirmations don't work for certain people is because they don't believe in the power of affirmations. First of all, you have to figure out what it is that you believe in. Do you believe in visualizing? Do you believe in scripting? Do you believe in affirmations? Because all of those things can work. Even if you did the 2-cup method every day, 5-5-5 method every day. Even like, and Sammy Ingram said, if you ate a slice of pizza every single day, and you said that, okay, every time I eat a slice of pizza, I get my manifestation. Every time I drink my water, I get my manifestation. You would get that thing. You would have that thing. But you need to be consistent so you can build that neural pathway. Okay, so, you know, neurons fire and wire together, right? And again, when you build certain neural pathways, you weaken other neural pathways that are associated with the old story, that are associated with the old versions of you, old versions of that person. But you have to keep affirming so you can build these new neural pathways to override the old neural pathways. You guys, there are certain neural pathways you don't even have within you. For me, for example, I don't have a neural pathway associated with poverty. And you guys, it doesn't matter what happened in your family. You know, like, definitely, people in my family, you guys, they didn't live well. Like, you know, my, like, grandparents, honestly, they, like, lived in a village in India, okay? Seriously, none of that matters. I know for a lot of you guys, you know, you're spiritual, you're like, oh, you know, there's certain things that stay in the DNA, trauma this, trauma that, you know, childhood wounds, this, that. Again, how deeply are you believing in that? I understand, you know, you kind of want to look inwards and see, okay, what happened in your childhood, figure that out, and then you guys affirm, like, you know, figure out a self-concept affirmation. You know, went through abandonment wounds, fine, but don't keep focusing on that. Don't keep bringing that up. Oh, this happened to me, that happened to me. Okay, you're reliving that old story. I mean, if you need to get it out of your system, that's fine. Sometimes I do think it is therapeutic to get it out of your system. Sometimes, you know, even you say certain things that you're not super attached to. Like, you know, whenever I make casual conversations with my friends, and even if I like jokingly, like, you know, say certain things, you know, kind of like jokingly make fun of myself, they don't manifest because I know that I'm doing that. It's all about, you know, how deeply you're internalizing certain things and how much power you're giving to certain things. Because again, you know, there are some people that actually make self-deprecating jokes that don't actually end up manifesting those things. Actually, some of the smartest, most successful people I know, you know, like their entire humor is making self-deprecating jokes, and they're like succeeding in life. They have a girlfriend, they have a boyfriend, you know, they you know, are living their best life, and you know, like they know how to poke fun at themselves. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but the thing is, they don't believe in that. It's how deeply you believe in that. Again, like some people, you guys, affirmations work like a charm because like they believe in affirmations, or they at least tell themselves, I'm gonna believe in affirmations. Okay, they read books, they read articles, they read scientific, you know, journals, like peer-reviewed journals on manifestation, or sorry, on the power of words, on the power of affirmations. You know, some people can speak into their water, speak positive things into their water, and manifest instantly because, you know, they've read about, you know, Dr. Masaru Emoto's experiment. You know, they read about like certain things that, you know, really reinforce their faith and like just validation in themselves and validation in that method. But the thing is, you have to, you know, find something that works, stick to it, and you gotta stay consistent. If you want consistent results, you want consistency, you want to be able to sustain, you know, your manifestation, you need to sustain the momentum. Momentum is the most powerful force, you guys. Once you manifest, once you're at this every single day, and you do need to be at this every single day. I'm sorry, but like, you know, if you really want what you want, you would not give up. You would make time whenever you have the time. You would keep affirming, okay? And you know, do this to make yourself feel good, you guys. You know, if you keep doing that, I get it. You want movement in the 3D, and it does come, but you create in the 4D, you create in the consciousness, and the 3D follows, okay? It doesn't. Just stop looking at time, stop looking at the 3D. Do this to make yourself feel good. I'm not even kidding when I say, you guys, like the reason why, you know, these 3Ps, these circumstances appeared in your life was for your higher self, was for your subconscious mind to, you know, reinforce something within itself, not necessarily to test you, but like kind of like a checkpoint, like, hey, is this what we want? What is our self-concept now? Okay, you guys, 3Ps, they don't matter. They are you. They only exist in your life for you to be the most confident, secure, amazing version of yourself, for you to come back to yourself, because you are your God self. You are perfect. You've been perfect since the day you were born, okay? But it's just like, you know, when we grow up, yeah, sometimes we you know, like come across limiting beliefs, this, that, but we're perfect in nature. We're God. We're operant powers of our realities, if that makes you, you know, more comfortable. But the thing is, you know, come back to yourself. Remember who you are. You are this amazing, secure, amazing, sorry, I keep saying amazing. Amazing, secure, confident, amazing, mesmerizing, magnetic version of yourself. You deserve the best, okay? You deserve the best of the best. You are on the pedestal. Get used to that, you guys. I know for a lot of people you're not used to that, okay, because of whatever happened, but the more you say these things, the more you familiarize yourself with it. And you guys, the power of words, okay, is like big, okay? The power of positive words. Don't assign so much meaning to negative words, but again, it's about how much credence you're giving to certain things, like the power of affirmations, the power of words. How much value are you assigning to these positive things? I even like affirming, only my positive thoughts manifest. Only my positive thoughts, you know, come true. My positive thoughts hold way more power than anything else. My positive thoughts hold like 1,000 times more power than negative thoughts, okay? And like, you know, just say, as you're affirming, just say like, yeah, something's happening, you know, I'm building up the momentum. Sometimes I even like to like visualize, like, you know, I used to watch like a lot of fairy shows and like those sci-fi shows, you know, Doctor Strange, like, you know, him just in his meditative mode, and like, you know, him being able to make, you know, those like mandalas, and like that is what it is, you guys. It's like, you know, you create like a force so powerful because of, you know, momentum, because of concentration, because of your focus, because of your energy, that you literally create a portal to another world Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in that movie, you know, Doctor Strange, he could like teleport, right? He could like, you know, see what was going on in other worlds. He had access to different dimensions, different timelines, okay? And that was all because of his focus, okay? And you guys, repetition and saturation is, you know, it exists for you to focus on the thing that you want. And sometimes, you know, people, they have to affirm all day to focus, to, you know, not get off track, and like it works for them. And some people, they don't have to do that much. Sometimes, you know, there's certain things that come to fruition. You like think of like, you know, someone that just randomly called you, or, you know, hit you up or messaged you, and you just thought of them for like 2 seconds max, but, you know, you were really focused on that, and, you know, that's what ended up happening. But yeah, certain things you might have resistance to, and I use that word really loosely because I don't like it, but for the purposes of, you know, this video, like, you know, whatever you have resistance to, the best way to overcome them is through focus, concentration, repetition, saturation, robotically affirming, okay? Meditate if you need to clear your thoughts, to clear your mind. I think it really does help. Again, you don't need to go vegan, you don't need to meditate, you don't need to fast, you don't need to do all of this. All you need to do is change your thoughts, you guys. Because there's some people out there, and I'm not saying like, you know, eat unhealthy or anything like that, but there are some people out there that still stay fit, you know, don't gain weight, you know, still are in pretty good health, even if like, you know, they don't like eat that healthy. Like, you know, for me, like, my skin breaks out anytime I eat caffeine or sugar, but I kind of trained my skin. I'm like, no, I always have clear skin no matter what. I always have clear skin no matter what. And I can eat, you know, I can drink caffeine because sometimes I need it. I need to stay awake, you know. And, you know, sugar, like, I have a sweet tooth. I'm like, you know, why should I suffer? Because, you know, I like eating these treats once in a while. And I just like trained my skin to not break out, and it worked. It freaking worked, you guys. Like, I barely have any, like, you know, winter's like the worst time because my skin gets really dry, but it's so insane. Like, I would just affirm for clear skin, and I got not one but two free, no, like actually 3 or 4 like free serums, exactly the serums that I needed for my skin, like hyaluronic acid, you know, things that would keep my skin really you know, hydrated and moisturized during winter, okay? First of all, like, the Bridge of Incidents was like, it was cool because, like, you know, my friend invited me to her Diwali party, and her mom, like, you know, owns a skincare business, and like my friend, she always likes giving return gifts, like goodie bags, you know, for her like brunches, parties, whatever. And then in that, like, you know, she gave me the serum that her, you know, mom made from her business, and I use it like every day, and like, oh my gosh, my skin has been so good. It feels so hydrating, moisturized, it smells amazing. And I was like randomly scrolling on Eventbrite one day, and I saw this, like, you know, skincare event that was happening, and I decided to go, and they ended up giving me like a couple of, like, not one but like 3 different serums for my skin, one of them being hyaluronic acid, which I just manifested. It was completely free. I got free snacks, free treats, even, you know, my friend's brunch, you know, like, I got like free food, and I just felt so pampered and spoiled because, you know, I would say I'm so spoiled, I'm so pampered, you know. Like, when you say this, you guys, like, things click in your brain. Even when you say, like, you know, different affirmations you script, like, oh, I'm so spoiled, I'm so pampered. I like saying things like, I'm so grateful for my amazing social life, I'm supported, I have amazing friends, you know. All of that just, you know, came together. And even, like, you know, with the skincare event, like, this was a group of like women entrepreneurs, and like, you know, they gave me some good tips on, like, you know, confidence and you know, business tips, and just like, you know, like navigating the world as, like, you know, a woman, and like, you know, like good, like, you know, I live in New York, I'm always looking for, like, you know, financial tips, and it kind of just all works together, okay? And like, you know, I just got a random hit to scroll on Eventbrite, and I got invited, and, you know, my friend just like invited me to the Diwali party. I was almost actually not gonna go, but I almost, because, you know, she does live kind of far away, but I went because I'm like, I love, you know, that's my friend, I love her, I want to support her, and my skin has been popping, okay? So again, the Bridge of Incidents, like, you don't have to think about how things happen, but it's just like, for me, you know, I was manifesting clear skin, and I ended up getting, like, you know, these free things, okay? Like, even for me, like, you know, when I had like certain weight goals and stuff, I was like, you know what, like, I want like a flat stomach. I found myself reaching for processed foods less. I found myself reaching for carrots and like yogurt and like, you know, just like healthier things in my fridge. It's almost like my brain was like blind to, like, you know, the chocolate and all the sweet treats that I had, like, you know, going around, because I trained my brain. I'm like, you know what, no, I want to eat healthy. I want to, like, you know, just, I want to look good, like, you know, I want, you know, I had like certain fitness goals, and I would even sometimes, like, I would find myself taking the stairs because like the elevator stopped working or something like that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is my manifestation, because I was manifesting that. And like, you know, yeah, like, I like literally in a week I was able to like achieve, like, you know, the goals that I wanted. I was like, I looked in the mirror and I looked different. But I didn't change the mirror, I just changed my mindset. I changed, like, you know, the thoughts. I trained my brain to think differently, okay? So again, living in the end, living internally, repetition, saturation, okay? Just keep going, guys. At the end of the day, keep going. Everything that's happening is a Bridge of Incidents. If there's something that's really triggering you, one affirmation that really helps is, I am unmoved by appearances, and therefore appearances move in my favor. I am unmoved by appearances, and therefore appearances move in my favor. I have had so many good things happen in my life. If you watch my videos from like, April or May, you will see that like, oh my god, my life was just like amazing back then, and like I manifested so many cool things, like princess treatment, like royalty treatment. Like there were a lot of good things happening in my life. Like I even made a whole list. Like people were like catering to me, pampering me. I felt so spoiled. People were going out of their way to like, again, cater to me, and like I was getting like, like just everything was like working out so well for me. Okay, so yeah, that really helps. And I just like saying I'm trained. Anytime I find myself like, thinking negative thoughts, I'm like, okay, even like I would say just replace it with a better thought. But maybe, before doing that, just say like I'm trained. Neutralize yourself to the thought, and then do a self-concept affirmation. I read this in the Jose Silva mind control method. He would say things, yeah, like, apparently he had a student that, wasn't able to finish his course, and he only learned 2 things, but he said it really benefited him. It really helped him. One of them was I'm trained. Anytime something negative happen, and the other one is negative thoughts have no control over me in any level of mind, or something along the lines of that. Negative thoughts have no control over me in any level or state of mind. Okay, it doesn't matter what level of mind you are, you guys. Negative thoughts, negative circumstances, whatever you're seeing, it does not matter. It does not matter. What the only thing that matters is you being in your end goal, your desired reality. And until you get that, keep going, keep affirming, keep manifesting. You guys, things have to fully conform. I have seen it myself. I really would not be making videos if this wasn't something I experienced. Sometimes I make these videos to even remind myself, okay, people conform 100%. I have seen like literally the worst, like most horrendous people to be around, turn into like the sweetest, caring, loving people ever. Okay, like literal, like I hate using this word, but like narcissist, like behavior. And that's the thing, you guys, stop assigning labels to people. That's why I don't really use even that word narcissist in my tarot readings, because again, that is just one like trait. That is one character trait. Like even for me, and this is just my personal opinion, it is okay if you don't believe in this, and I'm not trying to like I apologize, if this is a little bit offensive, but even like, God and like, the devil, like they're all just energies, they're all just frequencies, and they all exist within us. Okay, so sometimes when I'm doing good things, good things are happening to me, I feel like I'm in my godlike mode. And sometimes the negative things are happening, it's like, okay, like I'm just thinking like negative thoughts. Like the true devil is like negative thoughts. It's not something else that's affecting you. It's not other people's energy, because you are other people, you guys. But it depends on how much credence you're giving to certain things. If you think that like other people's evil eye, this, that will affect you, then it'll affect you. Sometimes people have these assumptions and beliefs. Astrology, even I noticed like a lot of synchronicities, a lot of things do add up according to astrology because of how deeply I believe in it. But one thing is like I do believe in astrology to an extent, but I don't necessarily believe in birth charts, because there are certain things that like I've gone to astrologers on, and like they did my birth chart, that I'm like, what, I just don't resonate with this. And you can change that, you guys. You can even change like the outcome of your birth chart by changing your thoughts. Okay, you can shift to another reality where your birth chart is different, where maybe your sign is different, maybe your person's sign is different, if that's something you're really concerned about, because you're just in that one reality. Okay, your birth chart, like you guys, you can change things at any time. You are not ever restricted to a certain story, certain anything. Just shift your thoughts, and you will shift to a different reality where you have what it is that you want. Okay, and just keep going until you get to that reality. And one other thing I want to talk about is like free will. Okay, no one has free will in your reality except you. Even if you're a person, okay, you guys, I had an SP that literally said that he believes in free will, and I wasn't even tripping. I wasn't even like concerned, because here's the thing, you guys. Even if they think they have free will, it's what you think they think. Again, they cannot actually think anything independent of your thoughts. But if you keep thinking, yeah, they have free will, then they're going to start acting, like that. But again, they cannot have free will. It's like literally impossible. You will never know what's going on in someone else's mind, independent of your thoughts. You are the only conscious creator in your reality, okay? And the thing is, you have to tell them, you guys, you have to just, okay, like the thing with my SP is like, okay, yeah, he's just like, yeah, I have free will. And then he started conforming to my assumptions. In a way, it's actually good if they think they have free will, because at least like then they'll think it's natural. Then they won't think they're being manifested, right? Because sometimes like a lot of you are concerned that they're just like, okay, if I'm manifesting my SP, will they get the ick? Is it energetic chasing? Will they think that I'm manifesting them and try to like consciously fight it off? No, actually, it's make that work in your favor. If they think they're free will and they do start thinking of you more, that means like your manifestation is working. That means like they're doing this out of their own will. It's their idea to approach you, to pursue you. And I got so much movement, like even though he had said all that, and I just kept affirming, I was like, free will, yeah, not my reality, okay. And yeah, he just like, he was conforming to a lot of my assumptions, and even like something that I wasn't expecting him to like. And you guys, even like recently, like on Instagram, like this is a small success, like, there was this one friend who like maybe like, things were kind of like not bad between us, but like, there were certain things that were happening, and we had different viewpoints and stuff. And like I was kind of scared. I was like, I don't want to lose her as a friend. Like I really like her, even if her opinions on this thing are different. Like, she would like send me memes and reels like she did, like maybe for a period of time she didn't. She even liked my story. Like this girl never likes my stories. Although like, we're good friends. And I was like, oh my gosh, like anything can happen, you guys. Okay, like even a while back I had like the randomest, oh my gosh, like a childhood friend reached out to me. Like this was like, like someone who just I used to like play with as a child, like on the playground right after school. Randomly he reached out to me and he's like, oh, it's great to see you do so well, because he like a mutual friend told him that like I have this good job and I live in New York. And he said like something that I was affirming for, like, oh, I'm not surprised that you have a good job, knowing you've always been a smart kid, haha. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was the sweetest thing ever. And like I was like affirming for my like intelligence, like I'm so smart, I'm so good at work. And like he sort of like reaffirmed that. It was like so random. And it was like I know like how that happened, because apparently like my sister's friends with like she has this friend who's friends with that childhood friend, and that childhood friend just randomly ended up following me on Instagram. It was like so random, I wasn't even expecting it. I was like, I didn't even know this person like thought of me, or like it was just like the randomest thing ever. Like this person was kind of like popular in school too, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Was just a small win, okay. But it was, yeah. And like I had another childhood friend, like kind of like it was like the weirdest thing ever. He's like, oh, can you pretend to be like my ex-girlfriend or something? I'm gonna text you something. I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. I was like, okay, this is all the verge of incidents that's getting me to where I want. Sometimes these random things will happen. People from the past will hit you up. You'll see like other people get coupled up, other people get jobs, just whatever you want to happen, you might see that happen with other people. But it's all a sign that it's happening for you, and you just yeah, it'll happen. It's all happening for you, not to you. And one day, you'll have your full manifestation. You'll be like, what was I even tripping about? What was I even stressing about? And things will just work themselves out, you guys. And also, don't be worried about negative things happening, okay? You guys, I've had people that have said like really bad things to me. Actually, those two childhood friends that I've talked about, we're like childhood bullies, okay? Like they bullied me pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, but I've forgiven them. I don't care. Like the past is in the past, okay? I've had, there's some people that I'm friends with, like, where, we could have said, like, like, not the best things to each other, but, like, we healed past that. We're completely past that. We're just like, okay, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, that doesn't even come up. Like, I've had certain friends that, maybe were a little bit judgy about certain things that I would do. With that same friend who liked my story on Instagram. And, like, I don't even think of her that way. Like, she changed. She's just like, what, like, I was wrong. And, yeah, your SP will change too. And even if you think, like, you're in the worst situation because you said something really mean to your SP, this, that, it doesn't matter, guys. They will forgive you, okay? Even if like they said something to you and you're just like still holding on to that, you will shift to another timeline where they never said that. They'll be like, I don't even remember saying that. I only said that because I was mad. Like this actually happened to me with one of my SPs. This was a while back. This was one of the first SPs I was manifesting. Like we got into a fight and he's like, oh, I never cared about you. And that really hurt. That really stung. And then we reconnected like a couple months later, and he's just like, no, I did care about you. I just said that out of anger. We were both just kind of heated, and he apologized. And it's like that really stung at the moment, but again, your person could just come back and be like, yeah, you know what, no, I didn't mean that. And I'm actually like rewatching Jane the Virgin, and it's funny because for those of you, you may or may not know the show, but like basically the main characters in the show, Raphael and Jane, at some point Raphael tells Jane that he doesn't love her, even though the entire time he is in love with her. And he tells all his friends, no, I am in love with her, but I just don't think I'm good for her, and I had to tell her that so she would just kind of go her own way, because like there was no way to explain it, because she would like keep doing this, that, like, she would keep fighting for it. And then like later, like things, literally like a couple of episodes later, he's just like, I didn't mean that, I've been in love with you. And like, you can see this whole bridge of incidents happen behind the scenes. He's like telling his therapist that like, no, I do love her, but again, I just need to work on myself, heal myself. And you guys, like, plot, like, spoiler alert, like, oh my god, if you guys don't believe in the power of manifestation, watch that show. Even with Michael and Jane, it's like, at times, Michael and Jane, they think it's over, they end up getting back together. Jane and Raphael, they think it's over, they end up getting back to each other. I won't spoil it for you, I won't tell you who she gets with, but like, manifestation is real in that show, okay? Just like trust the bridge of incidents. Everything's happening for you to get whatever it is that you want. The opportunity, the person, the love, the SP, okay? But anyways, let me go ahead and quickly talk about these cards. I really like this method. I remember when. Okay, I remember when, you know, my SP contacted me. I remember when, you know, I got that phone call. Or you can even say, I remember when, oh, I remember when we used to be no contact and now we're together. You know, like that's what I said. Like I remember when, like, you know, some of the people that I'm friends with, you know, used to be so mean to me, and like now, like a lot of them admitted they actually had a crush on me, and like, you know, they liked me and stuff like that. Okay, so I mean, it's up to you how you want to use this, or the telephone method. Imagine you telling your friend like, oh, you know, this happened. Imagine their reaction like, oh, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that, like, you know, this and this happened. Okay. Yeah, you know, someone that you really trust, someone that, like, you know, you tell your good news to, or like, you know, your parents, oh, by the way, I'm in a relationship, and like, you know, just imagine like the way that they text, okay, to kind of, you know, make it feel real. Not that you need to make it feel real. Yeah, but also, I let go of the past, I dwell in the present, and I'm able to create life in my desired, you know, life in my, what does this even say? Create slash live in my desired reality. Oh my gosh, my handwriting. But like, you know, that's also something that you got to tell yourself. I am able to create and live in my desired reality. The only thing that exists is my desired reality. Okay, that's the only thing I'm giving my attention and focus to. And you guys, something else that I want to say is that, like, even the past is not real. Okay, sometimes a lot of times we don't even remember the past. The past gets blurred out. Like, you know, there have been things that, you know, people have said to me even a couple days ago that I couldn't even tell you what they said verbatim, because, you know, our brain just attaches certain values and meanings to it, right? So the past isn't real. Like, again, even when you think about the past, you're still drawing from the present. It's the present moment that's actually creating the past. It's the present moment that's even creating, you know, scenarios of the future. So the present moment is the only moment. It is only true and real moment. And you can change the past completely change the past. Okay, by revision. Okay, that's, you know, the power of revision is so powerful. We've always been together. I've always had my desires. Things have always gone the way that I wanted to. I would say do self-concept blanket affirmations. Okay, I'm a huge proponent of self-concept before, you know, SP, or like even specific whatever desire affirmations. You can combine the two, you can mix the both, but sometimes, you know, like, again, I don't want to say resistance, but sometimes we do have resistance to like specific person affirmations, just because, you know, we need to build our self-concept up more. But if you do like mostly self-concept, 90% self-concept, 10% SP, you know, that should work as well. But, you know, just keep doing it, just keep going. Okay, just keep doing self-concept. And sometimes, you know, you'll get these like hits in your brain like, oh, SP does love me, oh yeah, they are thinking about me right now. It's okay to affirm that, that's okay. I know sometimes, you know, people have reported, okay, every time I started affirming for SP, things started changing, they started acting the opposite. Again, that is just part of the story that is happening for you to get what you want. The opposite movement, you guys, is movement. It's actually good if a lot of opposite movement is happening all at once, because that means it's a purge. And I feel like actually if a lot of things are going haywire, that is a really positive sign that your manifestations are working, and they're working fast, that old story is being played the heck out. Okay, like it's being driven the heck out. It's just not going to be in your reality anymore. Okay, because that old story needs to go somewhere. Those thoughts need to go somewhere. And again, purges can happen in different ways, or maybe they don't even happen at all. Okay, maybe your mind just like accepts it. But again, no movement, opposite movement, it is all working for you. Everything is the bridge of incidents that's leading you to where you want to be. Anyways, this is really long. I was telling myself I'm gonna make these videos 10 minutes, then they end up being like 40 minutes. But yeah, anyways, I will go ahead and end the video right here, or I will end the video right here. Really hope this helps. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You know, and do join the self-concept challenge on Patreon. I also offer in-depth tarot readings, as well as manifestation coaching, and also custom Subliminal. So if you're interested in any of these services, check out the description box below, where you'll find my website, and sign up for those services through my website. And yeah, I will end the video right here. Thank you so much. Love and light.